All right. Let's get this cracking. It is the morning after the night before. I don't know exactly when this video is going out, but I'm recording this the morning after the launch of Rage Gear. It's finally live. A lot of work has gone into this and I'm so glad it's out. I've got my morning coffee, I've got my banana. Massively underrated combination. Remember, those of you who are on the website mailing list, those of you who are website members, everyone received a discount code for this launch, for the launch week. So don't forget to use that. Check your email inboxes, your spam folders. If you're on our list, it will definitely be there. And if you want to get hold of any of these items, this week will be the best time to do so. The codes will expire Friday the 4th of February. So it's brilliant that that's all sorted now, because it means we can get back to pumping out the videos, we can get back to training. In this one, I thought it'd be really cool to go through each individual item in the Rage Gear range, talk about some of the insights, the process, some of the inspiration behind the pieces as well, which I think a lot of you will find interesting. So don't want to talk too much, don't want to preamble too much, let's get straight into it. Number one, we have the Rage Gear Nunchucks. Inspiration behind the Rage Gear Nunchucks. If you've been following this channel for some time, you know why we use the Nunchucks. The brilliant thing about Nunchucks is it's a very simple item. 2 sticks connected by a rope in this case. In other cases, you might have it connected by a chain, in more traditional cases. And I think what I'll do is I've actually got some traditional nunchucks here, which I'll show you, and I'll talk more about why these have been designed in such a unique way. So for those of you who don't know, I started playing around with nunchucks before I even started playing around with the ropes. I just really liked to move with them and just to experiment with different types of movements. And one of the first pairs of nunchucks I ever had was these wooden ones. As you can see, very worn now. They came actually fully black. That black paint that's gradually been chipped away is the result of wear and tear. These are a wooden pair connected by a rope, which I prefer to the chain. Although the chain does look sick, I'll give them that. And they also have other advantages, but they don't really apply to what I'm doing. So the advantages they might have is they're better for a combat situation. My use for nunchucks was more movement and to improve my handling and my wrist rotation. And that's a lot of the stuff we're going to be getting into in subsequent videos. The nunchucks are a great tool for working on your coordination as well, and just working on becoming more confident with your hands and isolating each hand. You don't get that with the rope because you have that connection and it's difficult to see which hand is lagging behind the other. And these are all things that we will go to in further videos as we progress. Another thing is, as you're using the nunchucks, this wooden hard surface, if that hits you, it's not going to be pretty. So what we did was we took this into consideration in the design process, and we made these out of an EVA foam, which is a rubbery, forgiving surface. So if you take a whack on the elbow like that, let's say your technique is off, no pain. You get to train without pain. And pain is a very frustrating element of training. You can look at it this way. If you were to skip with a rope that was a metal chain, right? If you were to do your skipping with a metal chain, every time you messed up and that rope whacked you on the back, it'd be a very good reason for you to stop training. So the idea of using a softer surface in the design process here was that you still have the shape of a nunchuck tool, but you don't have the risk of whacking yourself on the elbow, which I know all too well. Or on the head, or on God knows where else. Another cool pair of nunchucks I've got are these ones. So these are quite miniature and fold down, but they do also extend extend. So these are a chain pair of nunchucks. Now you've got the chain. This is metal. You don't want that hitting your elbow either. I haven't really used these much, but I just think they're quite cool because they fold down. These were actually a gift given to me, and maybe it'll be a design feature we incorporate in future. Who knows? Pretty cool. But these have the chain element. Chain means it's only slightly less flexible. As you can see, those links have to flatten before they extend. Contrast that with the rope, which has full flexibility, and of course in the case these nunchucks, you have full flexibility here. So we went more for the flexibility option than the aesthetically pleasing chain option. And the last feature we've gone for that makes these truly unique is the size. We've gone for a much shorter nunchuck length. So if I compare these, we kept the connection length the same, the chain versus the rope, and it's also similar to the wooden nunchuck. We kept the connection the standard size, we kept the rope the standard size, but the nunchuck stick itself, we measured these precisely because we want these used primarily, although not exclusively, to improve jump rope handling skill. So the issue we have using a regular traditional nunchuck, if I wanted to use them to improve my movements around in this region, the issue is this stick. This stick is an obstruction. Contrast that with a shorter stick, we don't have this interference here. And that is why these nunchucks have been precisely measured for you, for me, for people who like to train in this way. This shorter stick allows us to tuck in for good rotation technique, keeping our arms tight, getting better with our crossing of the handle, moving a lot better. It allows us to move around the body, in front of the body much more freely. Contrast that with a regular traditional nunchuck, and you wouldn't have that ability. The length of the stick would be an obstruction. Alright, now to take a look at the workout gear. The first one we're going to look at, just over my right shoulder there, the Vitruvian Edition shorts. I wanted to talk about the inspiration behind these and the process behind designing these. First thing a lot of people will notice is that the design is striking, it's eye-catching. I wanted this to reflect the RopeRage training style, which is eye-catching. It grabs your attention, it's there, it's fast, it's bold. The inspiration though for these particular shorts, funnily enough, and as I've said multiple times on the channel as well, I learn a lot from my environment and I take inspiration from things I see, and I try to think of ways in which I can implement them, put my own spin on them, and come out with something really cool, such as the Rage Gear nunchucks and these designs that I'm going to talk about. In this instance, I was watching a boxing match one day, funnily enough, and it was Devin Haney versus Linares, I believe the name was. And Devin Haney's trunks were so eye-catching and striking. He had these white trunks with these badges scattered across the front, and I thought it was something really cool I hadn't seen before. And although these were white trunks with black badges, that's been flipped in this case, and we've got black shorts with large white designs on the front. And I really like the eye-catching style. It's there, it's bold, it makes its statement. Another thing a lot of you eagle-eyed people have noticed is the adaptation of the Vitruvian Man by Leonardo da Vinci, and this is the cover illustration, of course, for the Redefining Rage training handbook. Even that's another example of something external, something in my personal environment that I have taken inspiration from. I've actually done a lot of research into what the drawing was intended for and what it means, and there's a lot to it, mathematically, scientifically, astrologically. That's for a completely different video, but I wanted to bring that to these shorts as well. That's quite an iconic design, especially as it was the cover design for the first ever RopeRage training handbook. So you've got that on there as well. And so you've got different depths of prints. You've got bold striking prints, and then you've got the subtle Vitruvian Man print. So I like that there's a variety of things going on this particular item. Next, we have got the back piece tee, which I am wearing right now. I really like this one. The fit is so clean. It's a nice comfortable top. I can't tell you how many times I've been training and had itchy t-shirts, especially as I start to sweat. But this is a comfortable fabric, subtle RopeRage design on the shoulder there, along with the RopeRage emblem on the back. And so this is really cool because I like the idea of the top being just your average top, just a plain old t-shirt, but then bang, it hits you with the large, bold print on the back. And I think that's also indicative of the RopeRage style, with a lot of the workouts being interval workouts, sort of pedestrian steady state, and then firing into explosive speed very quickly. I like that sort of variation. I wanted to bring that into this particular item here. After that, we've got, just next to my head there, we've got the white Rage Gear tee. Comfortable yet sturdy fabric for the t-shirt, and that's exactly what you want when you're training. And then you've got the subtle prints on each sleeve, and this is something I don't really see a lot of, so I wanted to bring that to this tee. Normally you'd have prints that go above the breast pocket or in the middle in the chest, but I wanted to do something a little bit different here and leave the chest and the back entirely blank and just go with subtle prints on the left and on the right side. A funny story behind these, the right arm print, which has the Rage just printed there, was actually one of the most difficult parts of this process. And the diagonal print, which we'll also see replicated in the Rage Gear shorts, which we'll talk about when we get to that one. But that diagonal print harkens to one of my favorite rope moves. You might have seen it in a bunch of the videos right at the end, when you're all done with your work and you whip the rope across the body, across the back, and it's got that diagonal kind of full stop to the workout. And that was what we were trying to replicate with the Rage Gear tee and the Rage Gear shorts. Just that diagonal print, which is something quite unique. I don't see much of that. But with this t-shirt in particular, there was a small issue, because as the t-shirts get larger, small all the way up to XL, the sleeve changes size. So we couldn't get a standardized print for every t-shirt that would make it the same. So it's slightly different in that we brought it inside the bicep rather than along the shoulder. And I think that's quite cool because it's quite a subtle print that you wouldn't see unless you were to extend your arm out, and then you can see it printed along there. So it kind of changes as you move your body. And I think that's a really cool sort of feature of the item there. Similarly, with the Rage Gear shorts, we have that diagonal print again on the left leg, and I think that's really cool too, because it's again that concept of the shorts being in its entirety just a black pair of shorts, and then you have that one design, that diagonal design, which speaks to the Rage Gear tee as well. And I actually like to wear those two together, so that's a pretty good combination there. Alright, so that's about it. So excited to have got these done now, because it means I can finally get back to pumping out the videos, and there'll be a lot of stuff to come, especially with regards to the Rage Gear Nunchucks, because a lot of people who have got these are brand new to using Nunchucks, have never used Nunchucks before, and so I would hate to just throw these at you and just say go and work with them without giving some kind of guidance. So there are going to be a lot of videos showing how we can use that and apply it to our training. It's not just a fancy tool to sort of throw around and look cool with. You can actually use it to improve coordination and improve your wrist rotation technique. So we're going to be doing a lot of that, and really that's about it. So let me know what you thought of this video. Slightly different, of course, because it's slightly different times. We've got our first range out. I really want to extend my thanks to all of you for following along the journey up to this point. There's so much more to come, as I've said. After this, we're going to go into workout stuff, not just me rambling. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't to this point subscribed and got your post notifications turned on, what are you doing? get that done. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the videos, and I'll be seeing you soon. So until then, all the best with your training and stay raging.
You must subscribe. If you don't, we have no videos. Subscribe to this video once again. Subscribe.
That's it. Thank you.
And subscribe for all the videos that we watch. If it's finished, we get more videos coming on.
Yep.
So subscribe to all of the videos that we watched. You must subscribe. Press the press button, and then you will see all the different kind of buttons you want to press. You can press which one is your favorite one, then you can choose which one is your favorite one. You have to learn and you have to train so you can get big.
Yeah.
Subscribe.